Many of you have ever seen this, probably a lot of you that have been around the game for a while. Can I have some quiet, please? Back in 1967, Sports Illustrated did a lengthy article on Billy Mays. We have 7 or 8, I forgot exactly how many, original copies of the magazine here. 4 of them are going into the drawing, and Billy's going to hand sign them to the winners. We also have 4 that are up for bid. If you want to buy one, Billy will hand sign it to you. It is a piece of shuffleboard history. So would anybody like to make a $100 bid on one of those? I got $100. $100. $100. Anybody else? 115. 150. 150. 150. Anybody else? Okay, that's copy number 1. Shu, you in for 100 for copy number 2?
I gotta keep it going, absolutely. I'll do it whenever you want.
Okay.
Whatever you want.
Okay, second copy. You got a $100 bid from Dave Shoebridge. Got 150 over here. 150 over here, David. Anybody else? Anybody? Got 200 over here. 200 over here. You let her go and try and bid on the next one, or make sure you just buy this one. 200, last chance. Jennifer's got it. Once, twice. Okay. Dave Shoebridge. Got $100 for number 3. Anybody else? 150. 150. Anybody else? Got 200 over here. Got 200. Got 200. Anybody else? Last chance. David Kaitan. All right. David, you want to start at 150? Sure. Maybe you should start at 2. 150 is not a lucky number. All right, he's starting at a 2. 200, 200, 200. Last chance. Okay. You 4.
Way to go, Matters, yeah.
When the ceremony is over, we'll go ahead and take care of those. Okay. Before we launch into the rest of the ceremony, Ken Griggs, come on up.
All right, Ken. Yeah, Ken. All right, baby.
Well, this is kind of a little bit of a error, brain lapse or something like that on my part. But we used to start the tournament with the national anthems, especially when Joni was here, because what a great way to start any party.
Yeah, no doubt.
But Joni's here, but Ken has volunteered to lead the Canadian national anthem. And maybe we'll get a volunteer to lead the U.S. I don't know.
Sing along.
Everybody rise, please. Oh, Canada, our home and native land, true patriot love, in all thy sons' commands, with glowing hearts we see thee rise, the true north, strong and free, from far and wide. O Canada, we stand on guard for thee. God keep our land glorious and free. O Canada, we stand on guard for thee. O Canada, we stand on guard for thee. Okay. Any volunteers, or are we just going to sing as a group? Must be somebody out here brave enough to do this. Susan? James? All right.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hail At the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight, o'er the ramparts we watched, west of gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Okay, we're going to start off with the Saul Lipkin Award. I don't know that, we have a little quiet, please. I don't think that anybody who has ever lived has influenced our game more than Billy Mays. Prior to Billy's era, which is way before my time. But all the way back when Bob Perry was playing too, with the key hammer, and you know, Billy is really the modern game has evolved as a result of Billy's creativity and talent, and his rank as the greatest among us has never been really in dispute. But I can tell you that way back in the middle '80s when I first met Billy, I saw him out there teaching even his fellow pros shots that made them more competitive to play him. Maybe it was just because his ego was slightly bigger than the rest of us. He still didn't think they had a chance, but he has never denied anybody of any skill level whatever help he could give them. And we're recognizing him tonight for those contributions. I know many of you, 30 or 40 of you, were at one of his 2 clinics that he did here. And the feedback is generally that it was just amazing. And I know a number of people have told me here in the room that Billy has taught them how to play, helped teach them how to play, made them better players. So I'd like to turn the microphone open over to anybody who'd like to say something before we make the official presentation. So it's open mic time here. Go ahead, Dee.
I met Billy more than 30 years ago, but I didn't know Billy. I hated him for 20 years. Skinny, glasses with thick as Coke bottles, afro hairdo, and a big mouth. But I sat down one night and talked to Billy. And I learned away from the shuffleboard, he wasn't an asshole. He's actually a pretty nice guy, and we've been best friends ever since.
Thank you, Dee. Hey. You guys, I really need you to stay out of this area because we've got 2 cameras going, and both of you 2 have walked in front of them, so I need to keep this area clear. If you want to photograph, step back of board 9, but other than that, Eddie, I need you out of there.
Oh, Eddie's working that camera.
Oh, you're working that camera? Oh, okay. Well, a minute ago you were standing in front of it with your iPhone, so I wasn't sure, so I apologize. I got that one wrong.
Where's my hat?
Yeah.
I'll save you there. A couple of months ago when this was announced, Billy came up to me and asked me if I would come up and talk a little bit. So I really have been puzzling over what to say. I have the good fortune of living in the same city as Billy, and as long as I've been playing for 17 years, Billy's been telling me what I'm doing wrong. So I've had the great fortune of having just an unbelievable coach to show me what needs to be done when you're playing this game. But we all know how great he is. So I wanted to talk about a couple of other things that Billy brings to the table. If you're a guy, you might not know this, but Billy's pretty handsy when it comes to girls. Just a little bit. So when I first started playing shuffleboard, I was very young. And so Billy would show me how to play shuffleboard. He'd come up and show me shots, told me how to stand, how to hold a weight. I actually still hold my weight pretty much the same way Billy told me how to shoot. And went to my very first tournament, and it was in Del City, and Billy was there, of course. He's probably the only person who knew me. And we were selling the singles. Back then it was called Beginner Pretty Good Singles. Was not Division 3. The bid was $50, and Billy jumps up and he says, okay, I'll buy her for $75. And I was like, oh, hell no. There's no chance I'm letting that man buy me, because then he'll stand beside me the whole time and I'll have to keep giving hugs. So I bought myself. I did win. So since then, now Billy thinks I owe him, which is a true story. But really the main things I wanted to talk about Billy are the things that y'all might not notice as much, just how truly kind and caring he is. In our area we have a ton of players, and Billy makes every effort. You would be amazed on how he'll walk up to somebody that's playing shuffleboard, whether they've been playing for years or just walked into our bar. He's going to walk up to them and show them how to play, talk to them, get them interested in the game. We have so many new players that really have stepped up and really have learned the game because Billy talks to them and helps them. And then the other thing that a lot of us don't really realize is just how much he means to his friends and how loyal and loving he is to his friends. This last year we've had one of our very good friends has had cancer, and Billy was the first person to volunteer and say, hey, let's put something together, let's raise money, what can we do to help? And that just is Billy. He really is the most loyal and loving person to all of his friends and takes care of us all. So we love him very much.
Look out. Look out.
Get your feet out of the way. For those of you who haven't met Evelyn, Billy's sister. Behave.
No, I used to stay home and cook. I had kids. I couldn't play shuffleboard. Billy would bring all of his road buddies to my house because he knew I baked pies this thick, and he'd like to show off how good I could cook. Even though the writer come to my house, and he'd sit there and embarrass me, going, Well, anyway, I didn't know how to play shuffleboard. But Billy come to my house one day, and he was going to play. And that night he didn't come in. The next morning he come in at about 9 or 10 o'clock. Come in with both hands, with casts on both hands, like this. I said, my God, Billy, what happened? He said, some old guy jumped on this woman, and I got in it, and I broke both of my hands. I said, well, why did they put your cast on like that? He said, so I could play shuffleboard. And that, his life has been shuffleboard. He was the black sheep of our family. Then I got to be when I started playing. But we're the only two left out of 11. And I love him with all my heart.
Thank you. I was afraid you might tell some jokes. We might have you up here for open mic for joke time once we get everybody a few more cocktails in them.
All right.
I heard about Billy Mays before I ever met him. I started playing at Mr. G's, and everybody was telling me how great Billy was playing. I was young and cocky. I'll play him whenever I see him. So one day I get a phone call. Hey, somebody's down here who wants to play. I knew who it was right away. I said, is it Billy Mays? I said, yep. So I got in my car and drove down to Mr. G's and said, how much you want to play for? He says, $50. I donated the first 50. He said, how much you want to play for the second? Let's play for 50 again. I donated the next 50. He said, that's nice playing you, Billy. I got to know Billy through the years.
What it cost?
It only cost me $100. I quit, I got smart. I've known Billy through the years, and every time I've seen Billy, if I have a question about shuffleboard, still today, true? I ask him a question, and he tells me every time what the shot is, what to do. I think a lot of Billy. And he's the greatest there ever played. And I got to do some give him applause, please. I've got to do some trick shots, exhibitions with Billy, and I got to run the mic. I was a little bit more calm then than I am now, but I really enjoyed it. I've done some seminars with him. We're going to do a couple more. But I really enjoyed the time that I've known Billy, and I appreciate everything you've ever done.
Anybody else?
Just go up there and talk about
Hello, Billy. When I met Billy, he was teaching people how to shoot shuffleboard. He was teaching people how to shoot shuffleboard. He said, Virgil, I'll tell you what I'll do. He says, I'll spot you 14 points. Are you really? He spotted 14 points in his bad line. I'm going to lose my tire. Taylor Hale only spot me 4. And you're on, Billy. So he said, well, I spot 14 points, I got the hammer back. Oh, okay. You know, I said, yeah, I'll get one off him without the hammer. After it was over, and I paid him my $20. I said, thanks, Billy. You're a really good friend. Virgil, you learned something today, didn't you? Don't trust Mike Tyler or Billy Mays.
Come on, Bob.
I met Billy back in the day, the real day.
The real day.
He's quite a bit older than I am, but I met him in 1966 or 67 in California. We had a tournament out there. It's called the State Fair Tournament. Billy played with some team from Los Angeles. I can't remember the name of it. But he comes in and Billy looked different then. He was skinny, pretty good. He was just a rail, you know, and he's up there. My team, we looked at this guy, we said, who's this little scrawny guy. Oh, we learned quick. But in the middle of that tournament, Billy had to take off because he had appendicitis. So they took him to the hospital. He came back a couple days later. He's still all bandaged up. He's all bandaged up when he's supposed to be out of the hospital. He came back. I think he won the tournament. That's where I met Billy, and he's been an inspiration to me too. Kept me going all these years. And thank you.
Okay. This reads, Billy Mays, as the greatest player in the history of table shuffleboard, your influence on the way the game is played is unparalleled. However, your greatest impact on the game has been as a teacher. From novice players to your fellow pros, you have taken the time to teach anyone who is willing to listen. In the process, you have helped countless people to improve their skills and better their game. Future generations of shuffleboard players will be a lasting testament to your efforts and knowledge. In grateful appreciation of your legacy as the greatest teacher our sport has ever known, we proudly present the Saul Lipkin Award in recognition of your extraordinary contributions to the advancement of our sport.
I was turning away. Yeah, I was, yeah.
That was 2 years ago.
Okay.
Speech. Speech.
Well, I thank all of you, and as long as I live, I will continue to teach. I don't know how long that'll be. Already died twice in the last 5 years. They say the third time is charmed. So I thank all of you, and most especially the game of shuffleboard.